and we have gotten infinite solutions where we get the same answer or it's the same line. Do you guys agree or disagree? Okay, so what we're going to practice doing today is we're going to practice solving a system using each method that we've covered, graphing, substitution, and elimination. And we're going to prove what it looks like with one solution. Then we're going to prove what it looks like with no. And then we're finally going to show what it looks like with infinite. So we're first going to start, do y'all still need the learning target? We're first going to start with one solution, and we're going to start by graphing. So we can graph that top line, the top equation, because it's in slope-intercept form, right? Okay, so how would we graph that? What would we start with?
Start with the what? Minus 3. You gotta
Go up 30, y-intercept. All right, so everybody go up 30. And then what would we do?
up forward to the right. We can't go with the down forward.
Down 4, left 1.
For these, how do you know exactly if continuous or straight line?
These will always be continuous. Because these are just lines. It's not a situation where we're counting. Because we can plug in anything for that x value. I could plug in 1.2 and I'm going to get something. Alright, now, is our second equation in slope-intercept form? How do we put it in slope-intercept form? What y'all saying? Get the y by itself, so how do we do that? How do you move it? Subtract it. Alright, so y would equal negative x minus 2. Do we agree or disagree?
Agree.
Alright, how would we graph that?
Go to negative 2. Down 1.
What would we do? Down 1 to the right 1. Very good. Take a point, Lapita. Now, is it ever going to cross if we keep going down 1, right 1?
No.
So what do we need to do?
Up 1, left.
How many? Up 1, left 1. Take a point, Emily. Where do those cross? So what we're going to do now is we're going to prove using each method that our solution is negative 1, negative 1. So we've solved it one way by graphing. Now we're going to solve it by substitution. Are we ready, or do we need a minute? Is anybody alive out there? I'm teaching zombies? Okay. I don't know, one of y'all were selling something. Probably JROTC. Probably JROTC. Alright, so now let's solve it by substitution. So what I want you to do is I want you to rewrite your system underneath substitution. Sorry. Alright, so remember in substitution, we're trying to figure out if there is a variable by itself. So do we have a variable that's by itself that says it equals something? Y. Awesome. So y equals 4x plus 3. So what are we going to replace y with?
4x plus 3.
Fantastic. So I'm going to write x plus, what does y now equal?
4x.
Equals negative 2. Alright, so now we're going to do x plus 4x, and what does that equal?
5x.
Now what do we do?
You subtract 3.
So we get 5x equals what?
Negative 1.
5.
Whoa.
And then you divide the 5.
So what does x equal?
Negative.
Awesome. Now remember, when we're solving for substitution, we need two answers. We need an x and a y. So we have our x. How would we find our y value?
Plug it back in
Plug it back in where?
to the first bracket.
Awesome. Marshall.
Do we do that right now?
Yep. So plug x back into the top to get y. Plug it back into the top. What'd you get? Take a point. Can you just put whatever it is that you're eating on your desk? What are you doing? Can you stop because you're stressing me? Did y'all get -1, -1?
Yes.
Woo, we did it right. Alright, so we've gotten the same solution both times. Now we need to solve it by elimination. Now, remember when we do elimination, we have to have x and y on the same side. So in our system, right here, are x and y on the same side on the top one? So we need to move this 4x over here. How would we do that?
Subtract negative 4.
You would get -4x plus y equals 3, and x plus y equals -2. Does everybody see where I got that from? Are we sure? Alright, so now we look for a variable that has the same coefficient and opposite signs. This time we have one that has the same coefficient but not opposite signs. So are we going to add or subtract? Subtract straight down. Take a point, whoever said that over here. -4 minus 1 gives us -5x. 3 minus a -2 gives us 5. So what does x equal? -1.
I have a question.
Yes.
Why couldn't you just multiply the second one by 4?
There's no point. You have the y's that are the same. Alright, so now let's take this x and let's plug it in right here. Let's plug it into our bottom one so we don't have to multiply or divide. We don't have to do anything crazy. Did y'all get -1? Awesome. So no matter which way we solve this, and we can choose any method that we want, we're going to get -1, -1. So what you're going to do now is you're going to solve no solution and infinite solution the same way. For the graphing, make sure they're both in slope-intercept form. For substitution, make sure one variable is by itself. For elimination, get the variables on both sides, or on the same side. Questions? You may talk to each other and work together. You're going to go to this page in your notebook. It says Solving Systems of Linear Equations. You're going to work on 1 through 8, not number 9. And you're going to have to be able to graph. You're going to have to be able to find the area. Hopefully you guys remember what area is. So to graph this guy, it is 3, 0. And our slope is -2, so you would go up 2, right 1, up 2, right 1, up 2, right 1. I've graphed my line. You guys remember it's point slope, so you take the opposite of whatever's in right here, and you connect it. Now it says, what is the area of the region in the first quadrant that is below the graph? So the first quadrant is this. So we're going to have to find this area. Now what shape does this make? And what's the area of a triangle? How do you find that? What's the formula? Nope, that's Pythagorean theorem. But I like that you knew that. It is. Take a point. 1/2 base times height. Have confidence in what you're saying, and not just because I look at you. 1/2 base times height. So your base is how many units? Your height is how many units? Boom. That's what you're going to be doing. Okay? Ready, set, go. Once you finish with your 1, no, and infinite, so you have to finish those 3 first, and then do this. If you don't finish this during the class period, it is homework.